One of the very first videos we ever filmed, in fact I think it was episode number 2 of 2 Minute Tuesday, was about the certificate habitation, and it's such a commonly asked question by both our buyers and our sellers we thought we'd do a revisit for a 2020 refresh. So welcome to episode number 89 of 2 Minute Tuesday with Hundon Valley Homes, where we're going to explain what it is, where you get it, why you need it, and why it's equally important whether you're a buyer or a seller of property here in Spain. Now, the Habitation Certificate is one of the key pieces of documentation that you must have when you come to sell your property here in Spain. Now, it's a certificate that means that the property in question complies totally with the Town Hall's habitation requirements. Now, it's a very important document to have for the purchasers of a resale property, and it's the responsibility of the vendor to pass this on to the purchasers. Now, the certificate is initially valid for 10 years when it's first issued. However, each subsequent issuing is valid for 5 years. Now, however, this is a license that really you don't need to renew as a document. You only need it when you come to sell your property. So there's little point in renewing it whilst you're living in the house unless you plan to sell the property shortly. So for example, if you come to sell your villa and the license has expired, it's going to be one of these documents that does need to be renewed as part of the conveyancing process. However, it's worth noting that if you're thinking about selling, it's worth getting all of your villa documentation in order before a buyer or their lawyer becomes potentially involved. Now, although it's generally called the Certificate of Habitation, the document can be called by other names. Now, initially it's called the Occupancy License, which is the Licencia de Primera Occupation, the license of first occupation. Now, this is generally issued to all new builds, and it will be given to you as the new homeowner, possibly by the builder, valid for 10 years. Subsequent renewals are called the Licencia de Segunda Ocupación, which is the secondary occupation, and as mentioned before, these are only valid for 5 years. Now, if your habitation certificate isn't in date, it's as simple as informing your agent or your lawyer or your architect, and they'll start the wheels rolling in order to obtain you a new document. Now, as I mentioned, the Certificate of Habitation is a document that shows that the property was built and conforms to all the criteria for habitation as set out by your town hall. And it's required as part of the document package to enable the easy transition of things like utilities of water, electric and gas into the new owner's names, should the utility companies request the document. Now, if you suspect that the document has expired or you've lost it, or perhaps that you've never had one at all, you can apply for a copy of it if it's still valid, and there'll be a small charge. If it's no longer valid or you've never had one at all, again, speak to your agent or your lawyer or your architect, and again, they will start the process of obtaining a certificate of habitation for you. Now, as with all of our clients who are looking to sell their property, we will actually come to and visit you in your home. We'll have a free of charge, no obligation consultation with you, where amongst many of the other things we do, we'll check through the villa documentation and we'll highlight any of the areas that I feel need further investigation. And then what we'll do is we'll point you in the right direction about how to remedy this. Now, and basically this is all you need to know about this much talked about certificate of habitation. It's a short, sweet recap episode this week, so I hope you've enjoyed it. My details should be on the screen at the moment, so if you've got any questions about the Certificate of Habitation, about the Hundon Valley or surrounding areas, about any of the properties we have for sale, if you would like to have your villa valued, or even just a chat about selling your villa, please don't hesitate to give me a contact on the details on the screen. So once again, many thanks for your time watching this week, and we'll look forward to seeing you for the next episode of 2 Minute Tuesday with Hundon Valley Homes.